Hi, Nate.
Hey.
I'm Amami.
Great to meet you, Amami.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe a little bit about why you chose Simon.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up about a half hour from here in a relatively small town called Batavia.
Mm-hmm.
I told everyone I was going to go be a doctor, which is what you do, again, when you come from a small town and you want to make your family proud. And I quickly realized that I just wasn't cut out to be a doctor. So fast forward, I graduate with a Spanish degree, and I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do with it. I was fortunate enough to get a job at a commercial equipment finance company. I'm now in commercial lending and realize that I'm not prepared for it, and I'm struggling, and I'm trying to navigate that and do well. And I had a really unexpected opportunity from the CEO of the company at the time and my manager in a moment where I actually thought I was going to be fired. They pulled me into his office and said that they saw how hard I was working, that there were some things that were difficult for me, and they felt that if I had a graduate degree, specifically an MBA, specifically from Simon, because they knew how highly regarded the program was, they thought that it would help me to overcome some of the challenges that I would experience. And they were willing to invest in me going to Simon to get a degree. It was really at a critical point in my career because I was scrambling to find ways to overcome these challenges that were just eluding me.
With everything that you went through now, what is something that you would say you picked from your journey that could help somebody like myself or people who are thinking about pivoting and coming to doing their MBA?
When you think of life in general, a lot of it's adversity and opportunity, right? And I think any really good school has an ability to give people opportunities that otherwise wouldn't have been accessible to them, challenging them enough to where discomfort is familiar. And also, when you get to a point where you not only expect hardships and challenges, but you also expect to overcome them, there's almost nothing you can accomplish at that point, because now the barriers are removed between who you are and who you're capable of becoming, and so are the doubts. The doubts are removed that otherwise prevent people from having a massive and lasting impact on society and on the world. And those are things, when I look back, they're invaluable things that help me to be successful in life.
What are some of the things that you would say motivate you to be a co-founder, fintech? Why that industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. And if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I would have ever gotten involved in starting my own business, my answer very definitively would have been absolutely not. You don't always know what opportunities are going to present themselves, nor do you know whether you're going to be fully ready when they come. So programs like this help to make sure that when they come, you don't know when they are, you don't know what form they're going to take, but when they come, you want to make sure that you're ready.
I'm really passionate about sport, and I want to use my finance and then my passion for sports and my knowledge for sports actually to really come together. So in the long term, I'm planning on building almost like a self-service platform for athletes, professional athletes.
Did you play any sports?
Yeah, so I did. So I played college soccer, and honestly, my dream was to go professional. That's why I'm into this professional athlete and finance role. So that's where I made that connection of where I feel like I would get fulfillment and also using the skills that I've learned while not being professional and stuff. So I take that you also play football, right?
I did, yeah. And like every other young athlete, I had goals of becoming a professional football player, and still miss it. I'm sure as you do. I have two boys now, and one of them, his favorite sport's soccer.
Oh, nice.
Which is one of the sports that I didn't play very much growing up, so it's hard to give him any specific practical advice on what to do. So
hit me up. I'll definitely get
I'll
more
have to do
advice.
that.
And now I'm also want to get into what are some things that you perhaps I've seen that you would say, if I were to go back to business school today, this is what I would focus on learning. And maybe the work industry have changed a little bit, and you have seen stuff out there that's out there in the industry.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about the fact that the world that we're in is changing. It's not only changing, but the rate of change is continuing to accelerate. For us, for example, in our organization, one of the things that we look for, the ability for individuals to think critically and to find ways to tap into their imagination. And I also think resilience is critically important, and it's one that because you're going through the program, resilience and work ethic and grit, those types of things are often undervalued. Somebody who can think creatively, who can pivot and is agile and isn't sort of tethered to a particular way of doing things, combined with somebody who's resilient, who has a strong work ethic, but also just a strong tolerance for discomfort.
Yeah.
Those are extremely valuable skills that I think, especially again in a rapidly changing environment, are great recipes for somebody to be successful.
In terms of almost specific to like Simon's students, right? What would you say like is something that you have essentially gained here from the professors or the classes?
I strongly feel that Simon helped me to make this transition from being an employee to being a resource. But there came sort of this inflection point where things started to shift, and I started to grasp things. And I noticed that people now started asking me for help and advice, which kind of felt surreal at first.
Yeah.
And this area that I was kind of felt like a failure in actually became the area where I was asked to be responsible for training everyone. And then that led to being responsible for training and development for the whole company.
Yeah.
And then you fast forward, and now I'm involved as one of the co-founders of a new business with the founder and some of the other leaders of my previous company. Things like that don't happen by chance.
No.
So there are a lot of things that I would attribute to that. Simon is definitely one of them.
Thank you for being here and definitely like sharing your story. Definitely, I'm gonna walk away. There's a lot of things for me to get from that. So and remember throughout my journey as well. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.